morning, it's Barbara. It says it's raining, but it's not. It was actually bright and sunny this morning earlier, but now it's starting to cloud up. Oh, there's Pearl trying to get somebody to throw that stick for her. So far, not so good. Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. This is my second cup. I had one while I read my phone. I was going to say Dennis brought me one, but today was my turn to bring. So I brought myself a coffee upstairs. Oh, I hope all is well with you. Happy Monday morning. I hope you had a good weekend. I sound like a Monday morning talk show host. This is my talk show. Anyway, so yesterday was a little discombobulating. I did as I said I was going to. I went to the drugstore and the grocery store, and in the morning or early afternoon before walk, and anyway, through the course of not so long after I got home, Pearl nosed open the door between the garage and the mudroom, and she and Maisie took off out the garage. Dennis and I were running after him, yelling, and that child, she went like a bat out of hell straight across the front yard. Luckily, our front yard is pretty big, so we were out there yelling, come, come, come. Looked like she was headed for the house, not directly across from us, but just over one, who often has a very small barky dog on a tether in their front yard. And of course the girls can see that dog from the, our backyard. The fence goes beyond the house so that they can stand and look out the front from the backyard. And Pearl almost got hit by a car. The car slowed down and honked at her, and by that time, maybe she just realized the dog wasn't there. I think if the dog had actually been in the yard, Pearl would be dead. And that poor driver would be traumatized. But finally, they listened to Dennis, who has a very loud, mean voice, and they turned around and they came. So nobody got hit by a car. But between that and the night before, when Maisie turned up on the front porch when she was supposed to be in the backyard, I was very discombobulated about my dogs yesterday. It was not a good day. It was not a good day. Luckily, Maisie currently has her regular leash on with, or a collar with her tags on. So if she decides to, Pearl has convinced Dennis.
Oh, she's not gonna bring it back to me.
That's true. You didn't hear his response. He said, well, she's not going to bring it back to me. She doesn't. Then she changes the game in the middle. She wants you to throw the stick, and then she wants you to play keep away with her. So anyway, Maisie's got all her tags on in case she gets out of the yard again. She's a little bit afraid of cars, so she was only going down there because she was following Pearl. Maisie, when she was much younger, got hit by a car. Didn't get hurt, but it made her afraid of cars, which we're very happy with. We like that she's afraid of cars. Anyway, I was made for a very discombobulating day. Very discombobulating day. Anyway, and it was rainy and dreary, and we went for a walk. But it was a short walk because it wasn't walk-inducing. So I crafted with Christy yesterday. And in anticipation of crafting with Christy, I got all my temperatures for January up until Saturday. But as you can see by the crossing off, I did not do them all. But I did 4 temperatures yesterday before, while I was waiting for our session. And this is what my dragon looks like. So I finished the jewel in the forehead of the dragon, and I did the outline. I am not sure this is the right color for the outline, but it's a gray, and it's a nice gray, and I have a lot of it, and it very well could be the correct gray. I'm not sure. I had it from my drink shelf from a couple years ago, so there we go. I did 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've got 1 more day next to this is going to be in this same color, and then I go to all different colors, and that'll be fun. But I'm loving it so far. But by the time, so I did that. So I did 4 days and the outline before I got on the Zoom call with Christy. But before that, so then I just picked up my leggings, and I was knitting on my leggings, and I realized I was so much more calm that while I was knitting than I was when I was stitching. The knitting was soothing me, so I decided to continue knitting. So I picked up my bag. This is my bag that has my leggings in it, and this, you can see that hook, it's broken. The zipper pull is broken. That caught on my sweater last night, so I just happened to have my tools right here at the table because nothing gets put away. I forget why we got those tools out. Problem solved. That will not catch on my sweater ever again. So this is so I did work some last night on my leg warmers. So that yellow that I showed you yesterday, just 1 row of yellow, and I was like, this is weird yarn. I don't, turns out I have it's self-striping yarn from a pair of socks I made. And I'm really loving what it's doing for my leg warmers. Don't they look cute? Oh, he's throwing it again. So I'm very tickled with how that turned out. I wasn't sure about that yellow, and then it just looks so good. I'm just very happy with that. So I am going to, I've just started the purling with that yarn, and it's on its purple life. And I am just going to keep purling till I'm done, till I'm out of these little things, or till the first one ends, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I care if the pearls are all even between the 2 of them. I don't think I do. In fact, I think on some level, if I weren't doing these 2 at a time, they would be completely different. But doing them 2 at a time, it's just easier if they're both the same. I mean, that's the whole point of doing them 2 at a time. You don't have to think about them separately. So anyway, aren't they cute? So I had fun doing that. Although I did tell myself, and maybe Christy, that I am going to work on my hat today. I found the needle that I needed, and I'm very close to finishing it, and I want that hat. I wish I was wearing it now, but I'm not. Although I could be. We just have needles sticking out. We'll see what I wear tomorrow. But my hair looked terrible, so I decided to wear my hat. I was cold yesterday a little bit, so I wore my hat in the house, and it worked great, but it made my hair look terrible. So today I'm just going to put her on my hat, I think, and maybe do 1 or 2 days on my dragon. If I do 1 or 2 days this week, I will... I do 2 days every day, I still won't catch up. That won't catch me up. Depends on how easy they are to do. Ooh, but this week I'll move over to February. February 1st. Yeah, I didn't realize it was the end of the month, except when I Or and I went to watch Leslie's vlog and her podcast came up. I'm like, oh, that must be the last Saturday. Not quite enough yarn podcast, that is. Anyway, so February will soon be coming. I have to see where February is located on my map, my dragon map. See, this is the dragon map. So this is where you start, January, and you go around like this, and go down here and do this. And this is where you start February, and you go around like that. Around the eye, I already did. Oh, no. This is not the eye I did. This is the other eye. So in February, organically, I will be putting the new eye in. And it goes down to here. And then March is the first of the spikes, whatever you want to call those. So right now, I just did down here, and then I'm going to start going down that way. And this all gets outlined too. So I have outlining to do in February. I've got an eye to make. Very exciting. But I'm really enjoying it, although last night it wasn't soothing like the knitting was. So I stopped. And I had a very nice conversation with Christy and worked on my leggings. I think I'm going to try to work on my hat today. I really want that hat to be done for my sake and for you. I have several people who are anxiously awaiting the finish of that hat. There you go. But meanwhile, we've got a guy coming to do maintenance on our water system. We have a very elaborate water system. We have a well, and the water that comes straight out of that well is red from iron sediment. So we have a very elaborate system to several filters plus water softener in our basement that we you were with us when, you know, for the OGs, it got replaced about a year ago, I guess. Was it a year ago? More than a year ago. 2 years ago? We got our new water system? Maybe two. Year and a half. But anyway, we decided that we need a maintenance, you know, so they're going to come and take a look at it and make sure all is well. And they'll be here soon. And so I have this idea that I think I'm going to go sweep the basement steps. I don't want that guy to see my basement steps. Now, I don't sweep my basement steps very often. The problem is that our doors have space about this much between the floor and the door because we have hardwood floors. And the doors are designed, if you have thick carpeting, they'll still open. So leaves space. Well, that space and that door is located right where the dogs are all the time. So there is a lot of dog hair that floats under that door and goes down and, you know, dust and everything else. So it accumulates on the basement steps, which I typically ignore. In fact, the only time it ever gets swept is if I'm feeling the slightest bit ambitious and somebody's coming, the heater guy or the well guy are coming to look in our basement. Otherwise, at all. Although it's very gratifying. I mean, it really makes a big difference. So I'm going to sweep the steps. And that'll be my chore that I did today. Maybe I'll do some dishes today. Oh, Dennis made clotted cream that in the wintertime making clotted cream is easy because you heat it for 12 hours and then you cool it and you just stick it in the garage. So anyway, it came out of the garage yesterday and it is delicious. It's like perfect. It's so yummy. So I made popovers, which are Yorkshire puddings for those in the UK. Popovers, and we had popovers with clotted cream and a little bit of sugar-free raspberry jelly for dessert. Yum. Really good. Really good. What made me think of that? Oh, and I may make more popovers because we'll probably have those again for dessert. I don't know what's for dinner, but it doesn't matter. Popovers for dessert go with everything, so that's fine. So I'm going to putter around and maybe work on my hat. And it probably is a mistake to tell you that, because now I'm going to feel like I don't want to do it, and I don't have to do it. I'm the boss of my knitting. That's me. That's my inner 5-year-old. But I do want that hat. And I have been sorry several times that I didn't have the hat. And it's supposed to be getting colder. And that hat is going to be a very warm hat. So, and be very excellent for my purposes. And it will go with everything. Everything I own will go with that hat. Or nothing does. One or the other. All right, I'm rambling. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please stay safe and stay sane. Editing Barbara here. I forgot to remind you, I am not going to have a vlog tomorrow. I'm going to go visit my parents tomorrow. And I leave a little early. And those are days that I don't vlog. So I will be back on Wednesday with whatever news. And, yeah. I'll see you then. Bye. Oh, stay safe and stay sane.